Today I'm going to show you how a password monitor can easily identify passwords that have leaked online, and how hackers can use a leaked password to access every site that you've ever signed up for.
Interesting.
So I'm going to tell you what happened to me and how I discovered one of my passwords was leaked. I use a site called Moonpig. It's a site for delivering cards and gifts to friends and family. Now, Moonpig have had a couple of security issues over the last 7 or 8 years. Last year, in 2020, some Moonpig users started to complain that their accounts were being used to order random gifts that were being sent to unknown people. So basically what hackers were able to do was use a technique called credential stuffing. Now, Moonpig made a statement at the time saying that their services had not been compromised or hacked in any way, and that the hackers were basically using credentials that had been stolen from other sites and using those passwords to log into Moonpig accounts. So for example, imagine a situation where you've used the same password on every site that you've signed up for.
Nope.
And one of those sites gets compromised, and then a hacker thinks, well, maybe that user has also used the same password and of course email address on another site like Moonpig. So let's give that username and password a try. And lo and behold, they get access to your account. So now I'm on Moonpig's site, somebody else's account. I'm going to add an address. I'm going to send 2 bottles of champagne and a box of chocolates to myself. And of course, Moonpig users started to publicly write about this stuff. What the hell is going on? And then Moonpig, of course, were forced to issue a statement. And to give credit to Moonpig, they helped users to restore secure access to their accounts and returned money to these people who'd had the problem. I was quite interested to find out recently that my Moonpig password was publicly available in a database on the internet. How did I find that out? By using a piece of software called a password monitor. And today I'm going to talk about how a password monitor can help stop problems like leaked passwords giving hackers access to your accounts.
Can I get a wall? Whoa! Can I get another wall? Whoa! Give me another one. Whoa!
If you're finding this video helpful, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That would really help me out. Now, there are different password monitor solutions available. Today I'm going to talk about the one that's built into Microsoft Edge, which is Microsoft's default browser in Windows. There are other solutions available. Chrome has its own password monitor. If you use password manager software like Bitwarden or LastPass, they also have password monitors built into them. So there are lots of different password monitor solutions that you can go out and use. You don't have to use the one that I'm talking about today, but I'm just using it as an example to give you an idea of how it actually works. So let's talk about the password solutions built into Edge, and there are actually 3 components to it. There's a component called autofill. So this is when Edge gives you the option to save your password. And then when you revisit the site, Edge says, okay, would you like me to fill in the username and password for you? So these passwords are stored and encrypted locally on your device. The second component is password synchronization. So that encrypted password data that you've got stored on your device, you can optionally have Microsoft synchronize it to your cloud account. And basically this means that you can access your passwords and have autofill work on other devices where you have Edge or the Microsoft Authenticator app installed. And the third component is the password monitor. And what this does is it checks the passwords that you have stored on your local device against publicly available databases of leaked passwords. And then it will alert you if one of your passwords is found in a database. Now, there are various mechanics behind the way these things work, but I'm going to explain how Microsoft's solution works. Now, the biggest problem that Microsoft had to solve when creating this solution was how to check your passwords against those available in a publicly available database without ever revealing your passwords to Microsoft or any third parties.
I don't know.
And the answer to that is homomorphic encryption. And it's a really clever way of accessing encrypted information on your device without Microsoft ever actually having to decrypt that information and to read it. Now, it's all way beyond my little brain's understanding, and I'm not going to explain it in detail because, to be honest, I don't really understand exactly how it works. I'm just glad to know that it's there and it happens. When Password Monitor checks credentials against a database, it uses homomorphic encryption to send that information, compare it to the information in the online database without ever revealing your password to Microsoft or anybody else along the way. And that's a really difficult problem to solve because encrypted data is exactly what it is, encrypted. So unless you decrypt it and somehow give Microsoft access to your passwords in plain text, which of course you don't really want to do, how on earth does that work? Well, it's all very clever. It uses a lot of computational trickery to basically compare your passwords with leaked passwords without ever having to decrypt them into plain text. So how does all this work? Well, it's really easy in Edge. All you need to do is open up the settings page, and then if you make sure that profiles is selected, you just click passwords under your profile. And here you have a new option that says show alerts when passwords are found in an online leak. And all you need to do is toggle that to be switched on. And then periodically Edge will scan any passwords that you've saved with the Edge browser against Microsoft's publicly available information about leaked credentials online. If there are any matches between your passwords and those that are available publicly online, then Edge will alert you and you will get a little pop-up in the top right-hand corner prompting you to take action. Or you can come back into the settings and you will also get an alert there, and you can come into the fixed leak passwords section and it will show you which passwords it's found in the leaked information and give you the option to head over to the website and to change your password. And of course you should update the password on any websites that have been identified as quickly as possible. And that's pretty much it. You don't need to worry that my passwords need to be synchronized to the cloud. That's also optional. Password Monitor doesn't rely on that feature. In my testing, I've been able to switch off password synchronization, and Password Monitor will still happily scan the encrypted passwords that are stored locally on your device. So there's no synchronization required to actually use this feature. But of course, the problem with this kind of solution is that it requires you to trust Microsoft. So while they encrypt your passwords, while you don't have to synchronize them to the cloud if you don't want to, while there's some very clever encryption going on to make sure that Microsoft can match your passwords against leaked information without ever having to know your actual password, the question is, do you trust Microsoft with your passwords? And of course, many people just don't. Not just about Microsoft, but other companies, because it's all kind of just happening. We don't really know what's going on. We can't see what's going on. And we just have to trust these companies with what they say about how this technology works. So ultimately, you have to decide, do you trust Microsoft? Do you trust Google? Do you trust LastPass or whoever to store and encrypt and to work with your passwords in a secure way? And of course, if you want to use LastPass or Bitwarden, then it requires an extra piece of software, and your average user probably doesn't really want to do that. So that's the beauty of these solutions that are built into the browser. So that's it. That's how Password Monitor works. That's how I discovered that my Moonpig password had been compromised. If you try out this solution or another Password Monitor, don't be surprised to see maybe one or even quite a few of your passwords compromised, especially if you've never checked. So do go out and have a look at how these things work. You might be a bit surprised about what information about you is available out there on the internet. If you found this video useful, then please give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to the channel for more information like this. And if there's anything else that you'd like to know about Password Monitor, Manager, or keeping yourself safe and secure online, then please let me know in the comments below. And there are some more of my videos on the screen now that you might also find useful. That's it from me today, and I'll see you next time.